Hi everyone, today's video is going to be on the Sizzix Big Shot Foldaway. If you haven't already seen my other videos, this is kind of one of a series. I'm looking at the different Big Shot machines. The first video I did was on the standard Big Shot. Last weekend I did a video on the Big Shot Plus, and today we're going to be looking at the Foldaway. The main reason for doing these videos is really I'm aiming these videos at beginners and perhaps those that are thinking of buying a Sizzix machine and maybe not sure which machine would be right for you. Now the Foldaway is a relatively new machine. It's only been out a few years and it's basically the same platform size as the standard size Big Shot. I know it looks a lot smaller, but it actually uses the same platform and cutting pads. So in terms of capability, whatever you can use in the standard size Big Shot, you can use in the Foldaway. Obviously, the main sort of selling point to the Foldaway is that it folds away and it takes up very little space. If I put it on top of the cutting pads and the platform, you can see that because the handle tucks in, the footprint of this machine is pretty much the size of the cutting pad. So if you wanted to put this on a shelf, it really would take up minimal room. So this is ideal for anyone that either has is crafting perhaps in the dining room or whatever and needs to put their machine away every time. Or if you've only got a small desk and you really just haven't got room to keep it on your desk, this is ideal. It's also ideal for anyone that perhaps likes to take their machine out and about with them. Now this is quite a sturdy machine. Don't be fooled by the sort of fold up look of it and think it's a sort of light insubstantial machine. It's ever so sturdy. It probably weighs about the same as the standard size Big Shot actually. So once it's on your desk, there's going to be no wobbling around with this. So you know, it's relatively heavy. If you were carrying it about, you wouldn't want to walk 5 miles with it, but it's light enough that you could sort of carry it out to your car or whatever, take it with you, but equally it's sturdy enough that you know it's going to do the job that you need it to. One other thing to mention, there's a slight difference between the standard Big Shot and the Foldaway, is that the pressure on this is slightly higher than the standard Big Shot. That's obviously a very useful feature, and it does mean that if maybe you've currently got a standard size Big Shot and you're thinking of getting this for maybe a second home or something like that, if you're using the chrome precision plate, which I know a lot of us use on the standard size Big Shot, you shouldn't use it with this. That applies to the Sizzix Big Shot Plus as well. Both the Plus and the Foldaway, because they're slightly newer machines, do have an increased pressure compared to this one. So you'll not only get better results, but you do need to bear that in mind if you're sort of mixing and matching plates and things between the two. Don't use the chrome precision base plate with this one. Right, so let's have a look at it. Let me move this one to the side slightly. Now, as I mentioned, the handle tucks in nicely. So if you put it on a shelf or something, you're not going to have the handle sticking out to catch. And there's a little button you can see just here. All you do is press that down and then you can release the handle so it's ready to use. The machine opens up, and although it looks smaller than the standard Big Shot, it's a bit taller. If I put them side by side, you can see the actual mouth of the machine is the same size, but the platforms on this are slightly shorter. But that makes absolutely no difference really when you're using the machine. On both sides you've got a little area here that you can lift up and store things in, and it's the same on both sides. Now this is useful if you did want to take this machine out and about with you. It means you could put your sort of pokey tool, craft knife, a few bits and bobs in there. So that is the machine. And of course, once you're done, you can just fold these up, pop the handle in and put it on your shelf. So that's the real key selling point to this machine. Now, I'm not going to go through the plate combinations. If you're totally new to the Sizzix machines and you want to know how this works, as in what platform to use for die cuts, what platform to use for bigs, what cutting pads combinations you need, watch the first video I did on the standard size big shot, because I don't want to repeat, you know, for those of you that are watching all of these videos, I don't want to say the same thing in every video. And the plates and platform combinations are exactly the same for this as they are for the standard big shot. So watch my video on the standard big shot where I will run through exactly how you cut to big die, how you use an embossing folder, etc., because this is exactly the same. So that, oh, one more thing I should mention actually. Let me open this up again. So the only other thing I should mention actually is once you've got your platforms down, you do need to push them in to lock them in place. You'll hear them click like that. And once you've done that, these aren't going to wobble about. So even though this is, you know, has got this fabulous fold-away design, you can see once it's on my table, there's no wobble to it. It's well and truly going to stay in place. Let me just run these through so you can kind of see the feel of it. So in terms of usability, it's exactly the same as the standard size big shot, just with this fabulous fold-away feature. So I hope this video has helped you if you are undecided as to which Sizzix machine would be right for you. If you haven't seen the other videos, I would highly recommend watching the rest of the videos that I've put together. So far we've done the standard big shot, the big shot plus, now we've done the Foldaway. Next up I'll do the Sidekick, and then I'll probably do the electric machine after that. But I'm hoping that by showing the different features of all of the machines, it might help you decide, because depending on what you want to use the machine for and whether you've got a dedicated craft space or whether you're sort of crafting at the dining table, that will come into play, aside from the cost factor, because obviously these are all priced differently. But anyway, I hope this video has been useful to you. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.